revelabitur.
What if the story of creation didn't begin where you think it did? What if Adam was not the opening chapter, but the recovery phase? And what if the Bible's very first verses are not only about creation, but about restoration? Genesis opens with words almost everyone knows. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But the next verse changes the tone entirely. The earth was without form and void, and darkness covered the deep. That's not a picture of something being made. That's a picture of something left behind. Now pause. What you're about to hear is not new scripture. It is not doctrine, and it does not replace the gospel. It is an ancient interpretive conversation explored by early Jewish teachers, church thinkers, and modern scholars about what may have happened before the world we know. The Hebrew phrase used here, tohu vavu, appears elsewhere in the Bible only after judgment, after collapse, after devastation. Which raises a question most people never ask. Why does the Bible describe the earth as ruined before Adam is created? Tonight, we are not rewriting Genesis. We are listening more carefully to it. Because if Scripture itself hints at something older, then redemption did not begin in Eden. It began before Eden ever bloomed. Welcome to this exploration. Genesis tells us God creates, but it also tells us God restores. Scripture consistently shows that God does not author chaos, He redeems from it. So when Genesis describes darkness, disorder, and emptiness, some scholars have suggested we are witnessing the aftermath of judgment, not the absence of creativity. This idea, often called the gap theory, has been debated for centuries. It does not deny creation. It asks whether creation may have had a prelude. Isaiah and Jeremiah both use tohu vavu to describe lands devastated by divine judgment, which means Genesis 1 verse 2 reads less like a blank canvas and more like a ruin. This does not mean the Bible is hiding something evil. It means the Bible may be deeper than a surface reading allows. In Job 38, God asks a haunting question. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Adam had not yet been formed. So who were these witnesses? Across Scripture, the phrase sons of God refers to heavenly beings, created intelligences who serve divine purposes. Most remained faithful. Some did not. The Bible never sensationalizes this. It simply acknowledges their existence and their accountability. Genesis 6 records a moment of boundary violation. It does not dwell on details. It does not indulge curiosity. It simply states the result. The earth was filled with violence. The term nephilim comes from Hebrew root meaning fallen, not merely fallen morally, but fallen out of order. This passage has been interpreted in multiple ways across history. What matters most is the outcome. Creation became corrupted, and God intervened. The flood was not random destruction. It was surgical preservation. Scripture emphasizes Noah's generations, his lineage, because God was protecting the future promise. The ark was not only for survival. It was continuity. God was safeguarding the path through which redemption would come. Every ancient culture remembers a flood. Every ancient culture remembers divine beings. Every ancient culture remembers a lost golden age. The Bible does not validate mythology, but mythology may echo trauma, filtered memory of real judgment. Scripture never asks us to chase ruins. It asks us to recognize patterns. Before humanity rebelled, Scripture indicates that rebellion already existed. The adversary appears not as a beginner, but as a defeated being still at war. Earth becomes a contested space. Not abandoned, not forgotten, but watched. Adam is not described like other creatures. He is formed, breathed into, commissioned, placed not only to enjoy Eden, but to guard it. This suggests humanity's role was always priestly and royal. Where Adam failed, Christ prevailed. Jesus did not come merely to forgive sins. He came to reclaim authority. The Bible calls him the last Adam because he completes what the first could not. Redemption does not only move forward, it reaches backward, healing creation itself. You were not born into neutrality, but you were born into hope. The war is decided. The victory is secure. And now, you are invited to live as part of restoration. This story is not about fear. It is about faith, not about speculation, but about redemption. Whatever existed before Adam, Scripture is clear about what exists after Christ. A new creation, and you're invited into it. Subscribe now to our channel for more thrilling Bible stories.